had to tell you that you are talking on a personal basis and not based on Shire, right?
Yes, there is a lot of people in Shire that could be more representative. I am only showing my thoughts, my experience, if it is valuable for you. I do appreciate you are still here at the siesta time, that you stay permanent here, alert, that is good. And the topic, first of all, even though I'm not talking on behalf of Shire, I want to say some words about Shire. I don't know if you know Shire. Shire is not a big pharma company. I used to work for MSD, but Shire is what we call a small, big company, small in size, not small in growth, because it's growing at the double-digit growth, and not small but big in the innovation and the spirit and how we look after integrating the good things of the big pharma companies, new things that do not exist in the big pharma companies, and create a new culture, a new company that we hope we will continue growing and not being like Genzyme very quickly bought by Sanofi and that. So because it's really a good thing to work in this kind of companies. Well, I think that by the time we are now, we have no discussion that this is not something we can argue about. We share and engage in internet. If it is interesting for our audience, they will share. They will tweet it, they will put it in Facebook, they will talk about it. If it's not interested, they won't share and engage. So let's face it, if we don't engage, someone else is engaging with better content for us. The other thing is, this may be impressive. The third country, you have heard so many, but that doesn't impress me a lot. What really impressed me is that 90% of people between 19 and 30 years are actively participating in social media. That impressed me because these figures in a few years will be double, and that impressed me because they are social media native. I'm not sure if we all talk their language, you know. And that is what impressed me, not what the size that is now, the size that it will have in a couple of years, in 5, 6 years, and if we will be able to talk their language. Another thing is not only about mobile. There is a concept of a splinternet that is getting anywhere, any moment, in any device. Now we have the mobile. The mobile is growing rapidly and will be dominant, but we will also have the television. The new set of televisions are a smart television where you can have a social media and change between television and social media. So we are competing with the TV, we are competing with internet, we are competing with applications that are growing rapidly, as we have said. We must have our share in the customers' applications. Pharma compliance. Look at the transparent. The market is becoming more transparent. And if it is becoming more transparent, we have to be more honest and offer a better value to our customers. And this has been said. And we have to adapt to these social media principles, react rapidly, have honest transparencies, don't criticize, allow any kind of comment on about us. In this new conversational, we have more difficulties to engage customers. It's not so easy as traditional market or the beginning of the internet marketing. Now we need more content and richer content to get in all of these devices. And this is difficult, you know. I do agree content is king, and what really capture and engage our customers is what we have on our platforms. So we have also to be portable. We have to talk to our customers what kind of devices they need, what kind of application. We cannot waste our time and money developing application for the sake of it. We have to learn rapidly to develop them and to be useful. Pharma compliance, all of us, I suppose, even though there are 2 people here who directly work on it, are developing compliance policies in their companies and principles. So it's just as life, as Darwin said, adapt or perish. And we all want to survive. And as Forrester put in this template, we have to accept the change. We are all accepting the change that social media has such a big influence. Are we there in the status quo if we are not doing anything in our companies? We have to act continuously. We have to put the hands. We cannot talk about social media, everything, if we don't have our Twitter account, if we don't make meetings with our friends, with LinkedIn, if we are not actively in internet. And of course, this is a bigger challenge. We are changing one of the bigger marketing challenges this function have ever had. And this challenge, we cannot take it in isolation. We cannot do it. We have to work in teamwork to create it. So we may have an evolution of the current organization, and we have to stop and think in which steps are we now? Are we just wait and see? Let's the other start and make mistakes, and I will learn, I do it later? Or I just go deeper? I am just trying to put some social media for one brand or another. Let's see what happens, if it works, if it doesn't work. Do we have, as Dell or other companies and industry have a coordinated strategy for the whole company with the different departments? Or are we moving towards what will be the future, what is called by Larry Weber, the social enterprise? I like this concept. I don't know if I will ever see it in pharma, but it's very attractive. Why is it attractive? Because it's about building transparent, long-term, honest communication with the customers. Well, it's also attractive if a blonde girl like this takes you. This is real good engagement. So it's attractive because you care, you have honest communication. Your customer, with these continuous communications, your customers tell you about problems of your brands. Your customer help you to co-create new products. Your customer come to the brand, take to the brand new customers. And by doing that, yes, we care about ROI. But at the end, if you have an honest, transparent, and adaptive company, you not only care about this adding value, but it's social responsibility. It's something we will all look for. This new organization, and Joe Moses, I talked to him in Google, they have some of these principles. It's also characterized by accountability. We have a lot of data, and we know the contribution of everybody in the organization. It's characterized also with creativity. Creativity, bringing ideas from outside and working in a team mode. Also in Google, for example, that is a company that we could take as a reference. They dedicate one day a week, the engineers, for their own projects, from their own initiative. And these initiatives help the company to be innovative and to grow more than in any other sectors. And there is another concept interesting about these new organizations, that is not a pyramid of decision. There's consensus of team working in different departments. Therefore, the profile of the professionals we need in these organizations is not the traditional one, where the I ones that we could say they have deep knowledge of a function. As now we are working, we have marketing department and e-marketing department. When I talk to people outside of pharma, they say, why marketing doesn't do e-marketing? And I say, no, well, we have a special, but if in other sectors, e-marketing is part of the marketing department, is their core activity is e-marketing. So in this new organization, we need more than I individuals, we need T individuals that have experience in different functions. These people are more porous. They can adapt the information and the feedback from the customer easily, and they can work collaborative with other people. So allowing the company to innovate more. Well, more than the keys of success, because if I knew the keys of success of e-marketing, probably this is a very important forum, but maybe I would not be here. This is mistakes we should not make, or tips, only tips for e-marketing strategy. First off, we have a couple of them. One of them important is marketing. As I come from a commercial operation function, I have to do other activities, and one of them is defining the competencies of the marketing team. And still in the e-marketing team, I had to update for what we call the talent management project, the competencies, and I could add 2 e-marketing competencies in a list of 30 competencies of the marketing team. That means that the new marketing team has to adapt these new competencies of understanding social media, we are doing a big effort in Shire about this, understanding, developing e-marketing strategies, and of this new area. So we have an enhanced e-marketing competencies, not in a separate department, but even though we have e-marketing expertise that can help, but what we really look for is that the competencies of the marketing department are bigger. And the next step, as McKinsey has highlighted in a recent report, is that marketing is not only in the marketing department. Marketing is all the company. Why? Because the customer has experience online with the product and the services are not an isolated department. So there are so many tasks and things to do that we have to split marketing competencies among the organization, work more in councils, have more support from our partners, and also be driven with a good analysis of all the rich data that we have now. It's an insight-driven function split in all the company. Well, we are taking our little steps towards the future, and this service, online services we are developing, is being developed with a team, a consensus team, and it will in Shire, and it's also the people who respond later is almost all the organization. Our doctors can ask from a medical department, they can ask for a sales department, they can ask for pharmacovigilance, they can ask for everything. So these services are developed with the perspective of all the company, and they will be served by all the company based on different principles. So in marketing, it's not only the marketing department, it's all the company. Important, e-tools. Sometimes it's important to get a good know-how of what is available, cheap, and cost-efficient. We were talking about webinars. I have the marketing people come in and say, and how much will cost this webinar or this mail campaign? And Monkey Chimp only cost $15 a month, the subscription. And the webinars, you have a webinar, GoToWebinar, and it's also very inexpensive. And there are hundreds of tools on the line that are proven and used by multinationals, big companies in other sectors. And it is a competitive advantage to know which tools you can use very cost effectively. It's just there. E-marketing is not expensive. E-marketing is learning rapidly and adopting and being in contact with partners and vendors. This Eric told me that they like very much that outsourcing everything but the soul of the company. I think most of the vendors that are here like very much this idea, but I'm not presenting to please them. I present it because I believe in it. I believe in it because e-marketing goes internet goes so fast that we have to use them not like vendors, but more like partners. And we should keep some competencies, marketing and innovation. But I also doubt that innovation is something that we should keep so much inside the company for our pharma companies in internet, because you get a lot of innovation from vendors also. So let's outsource. They have the expertise. We have seen the social media dashboard that is provided by a vendor. We may be able to do things, but it's very cost effective to have partners. Last week we were working in a project, and we had another concept is that let's outsource globally, because the vendors could be anywhere in the world. In internet, it's easy to access them. We had a project, and there were one person in Shire from the US on a webinar working on this project, one vendor from UK, and another vendor from India working in the project, in the same project at the same time. So let's have a global perspective about partnership and vendors, and look where there is what you need. Advisor and contributors. Yes, it has been said here, and it's very clear, we have to talk to our customers. There are customers that are more native, and we think that they are the same, and they are like us, still waiting, but you go and talk to them. I had almost decided to go with a publisher to have content on a web, and I went out to see my advisors, the group of advisors that we have, and they say, no, I don't need that. What we want is the updates. The updates is what everybody is looking for. So let's them help us in the e-marketing. So, well, now let's have a look at the e-marketing plan. The e-marketing plan, I have heard today different perspectives. One perspective is integrating it from the beginning. Another perspective is making an e-marketing separately. Another is that I have heard, well, an important companies does it. Let's digitalize. So if we have meetings, let's do webinars with the same content. If we have Congress, let's do e-events with the same content. And if we have Salesforce, let's do e-detailing with the same detail aid. This is one way. It's a good way because you produce many things and you throw it to the market. But I doubt it's the most effective way. As we have all learned in marketing, that we have limited resources. And in this case, in social media, we have infinite channels. What we have to do is start asking your customers. Start segmenting them. Well, I don't know if you like football, but we are lately, because we don't have many things to be happy about in Spain with the crisis and everything, we are fond of football. We have in our targets, we have people who can lead, and we can easily identify, particularly in a company like Shire that goes to audiences that are relatively small, people who can contribute with content, a lot of people who can participate, and also customers who we should have to forget about in internet because of their attitude, their age, and whatever they care, because they are not engaged in internet. The first thing is to define the purchase journey. The purchase journey is a concept that Monitor company likes very much, because they develop all these tools from the Boston Consulting Group. And this is defining what sites, what searches, what social media, who influences them. And after we have this purchase journey, we have to define strategy. The strategy is not adopting what is fancy. The strategy is what are our customer visiting. Sorry, I have to, can I go more? What are our customer visiting? Actually, there are a couple of slides I have to tell you because they're not here. What are our customer visiting? Do a SEO analysis in Google. What are the keywords? And start from that. Analyze the competition. And then setting objective. Sometimes you go to a pharma web and you see information and you say, what is this for? Because I don't really know what they want to convince me about and what they want me to do. You change and go to another web, like an e-marketing consultant company, that like Eloqua or any other. You go there and you say, you see in the middle what they want to convince you about. Then you see what the action they want you to take. And that we have to keep in mind when we define the strategy. We should define the strategy, as we have mentioned here, with clear KPIs. And this strategy, you have to take it from the brand plan, and you have to take it when you see a web page in internet. And then this is very important. We are doing this with these online services, and this is crucial, to integrate what you do in the field with what customers are doing in internet. You can do it with tools like OneKey from Segedin, where they can also have a password for all the websites. And by doing that, what we do? We can measure the added value of internet if we have by individual, because we do have what they were doing before and the result we have before and after, conjoined with the e-marketing. We potentialize what is very useful. That is that the sales reps are also involved in the internet activities. We have seen that in webinars, if we invite the doctors by mail also with the reps, if the reps invite them by email, we put the link to go to webinar or whatever, the participation is a lot higher. So let's potentialize what the two together that work better, because reps can have a big potential to use internet activities in their mode of communication with customers, and that is very effective. And another thing is that we have to work looking as companies like Amazon. Amazon, they individualize the purchase. If you buy a book about e-marketing and about a subject, they will send you the latest things that have been published about it. So with these tools, integrating e-marketing with their activities and also having more information about the doctor's profile, we can individualize or make consistent group for marketing for these customers. And a comparative ROI analysis. I think that you always have to show value. You know, and more in the current situation. It's very nice, and we all like that. How can you measure the engagement in the long term and that? But if it is not the direct return of investment, you have to show it versus other activities. We are living. I was preparing the background of the brand plan for Spain, and all the macroeconomics figures I had to change several times to go down. Because the International Monetary Fund, everything, we are living in a situation that we have to show the value of all our activities, and particularly internet one. Well, and this is a summary. The summary is that we are in a new communication area that have some specific features. We are adapting. We have to try to adapt rapidly. We have to do, as first step, integrated in marketing, but in the future, marketing is not only the marketing department. Marketing is all the company. We are all marketers. Thank you.
Are there any questions? We're all marketeers. That's your message, actually, what you're saying.
Yes.
We're all marketeers. Marketing is the company. Who has a similar feeling and has to see that as the crusade within their organization? Nobody? Yes?
I didn't have a comment. I didn't really have a comment on it, I just agree. And to that point, I don't think it's necessarily just marketing. I think it's the use of digital in itself, or internet or whatever, but it goes across the company, and we all should be embracing it rather than siloing it within an individual area.
Okay. Other question?
Hi. Yeah, I've got a quick question. You were talking about evangelizing digital within these pharmaceutical companies, but we've got so many channels here. You know, we've got social, mobile, display, and the one thing I haven't seen talked about really is the attribution model. How all these different channels are adding to value to the company. So, the use of analytics and building robust attribution models, which is what's happening in the rest of this, of the digital advertising space in a minute. Do you think that's something that, if you could address that subject, that you might get more buy-in from the top level?
I do think that the contribution will come from an analysis of your customers to see actually what they are doing and defining what they are doing. What works for one customer in one country of a certain segment will not work for another one. So if we have to define a global contribution of each of the channels, I wouldn't dare to do it. I think what we should do is to analyze what they are really doing in your countries and your audience.
Any further questions or comments? Yes.
Hi there. One of the last comments you talked about was about personalising information for the users, or individualising the information they view.
Yes.
It's something that I'm actually currently looking into doing, but I guess did you experience any, or have you experienced any challenges with this in terms of like regulations, data protection, etc., etc.?
I think we are all ready to do it. At the moment, we don't have a particular experience, but the movements we have strategically taken with the tools that allow us to combine their barriers. For example, the example of Genzyme. They were going to convince about the calcium risk. Our reps know what doctors have calcium, care about calcium risk or doesn't care about calcium risk. And I can't prepare my platforms when they get into the platform to alert them more about calcium risk or not.
Anyone
So
further?
the combination of all the know-how of our reps, but because something that we should not do with this new area of digital technology, advance and innovation, is to disregard the value of our sales reps and our sales team. And if we integrate all their knowledge, what we can communicate here and can offer here, I think we will maximize the effectiveness of our activities.
I have a final question here.
Hello. So you said that the future is really about having the marketing overall in the company, but some companies, for compliance reasons, are really trying to segment or separate commercial communications from other kinds of communications, because this might have also some impact for the company.
We have a big dilemma. If we work as an organization toward what the transparency of internet, or we openly with principles for all the organization, and if we maintain in silos and having that, I think that we will see that the market goes on another way faster than what we decide to do.
Okay, thank you very much,
It's
Jesus.
a pleasure.